All right, so what do you think are the most common health compromises that all of us make in our busy lives?
Sleep, hydration, nutrition and exercise. All the four pillars are compromised, which I have observed.
What are some ways that we can work around that and strike a balance?
It is just organizing, prioritizing and discipline.
People compromise their well-being because of their job responsibilities, where they've ignored health, they're not paying it the due attention.
Compromising their health over their, chasing their success and, their work and everything. If you get a deal, you'll wake up at 5 a.m. But if I'll tell you, you go and join your gym, you will never wake up at 5 a.m. Connect with nature and not Wi-Fi.
How would you define fitness?
Gymming or running or swimming. I always say whatever is done is good. So whatever you do to be fit is good.
Hello and welcome to the We Think Equal podcast powered by NEC India, where we explore the real life challenges we face both at our personal and our professional lives and how we can grow through them together. We Think Equal for us is not just a campaign or an initiative. It is a mindset that defines who we are and how we operate each day of our lives. It reflects our promise to create equal opportunities, advocate inclusion, and promote the well-being of everyone, no matter who they are and where they come from. In today's episode, we will be driving and discussing the focus to a topic that affects all of us and how can we advance in our lives, in our careers, without compromising our health. This is something which many of us must have thought about and reflected upon. How to find the right balance between work and our well-being. I'm your host Kashish Daya Kapoor, and I have the honor of having Shikha Agarwal join us today for this episode. Shikha Agarwal is a passionate nutritionist who helps people build realistic, sustainable wellness habits that seamlessly weave into their busy lives. So let's hear it from Shikha.
Thank you for having me over. And honestly, I'm grateful that I'm being invited for such a cause. And this is my message to all the organization and the corporate houses that they should introduce this initiative for their employees, because if the employees bring a balance as what you have strived for between their work and their well-being, I think the organization, it will go to a different level. So I'm really looking forward. I'm just overwhelmed and grateful to be a part of this cause. So thank you so much for having me over.
Thank you so much, Shikha. And let's deep dive straight into our conversation.
Let's do it.
All right, so what do you think are the most common health compromises that all of us make in our busy lives? And what are some ways that we can work around that and strike a balance?
All right, so in my career, when a lot of employees or working professionals, they come to me, and what I have observed, what they lack, all the four fundamental principles, or you can say the four pillars of our well-being, that is sleep, hydration, nutrition and exercise. All the four pillars are compromised, which I have observed. So I always believe that these can be taken care of if we just follow the basic and simple principle of OPD. And when I say OPD, don't be scared, it's not outpatient department. It is just organizing, prioritizing and discipline. So it's very strange, a week back only, I'll just give an example. So my son came to me and he said, Mom, we need to get a cupboard. I mean, I'm facing a lot of problems and it's all cluttered. I have too many clothes. I'm not being able to fit. So I said, okay, I'll get you one cupboard, but let's do one drill. Let's go inside the room. So I just went with him. I said, let's get out all the clothes outside. And I said, in the shelf, which you see all the time, you place all the clothes which you need every day, and we place it, we organize it well. Then I said in the second shelf, You place all the clothes which you don't need every day, but maybe when you sleep at night, your night wears, you put that. And similarly, we just organize all the clothes. Then after organizing, he saw that one of the shelf, that utmost of the shelf, it was empty. So it's just an example, the way he organized, and he could find a place just by keeping the clothes in a proper way. Similarly, we can inculcate this in our lives, just being organizing, prioritizing our health. So if you prioritize your health, you won't find any excuses, you will always have options, and of course discipline. So if you don't want to just get lost in the mass, and if you want to stand out, and if you want to be that one person whom you don't want to be overlooked by anyone, you have to have that discipline. So just 3 basic principles and you just rock it.
I know, thank you so much. I think you make it sound so simple for all of us to adopt some of this. And OPD is a new one. So I think many of us struggle definitely with sleep and water.
Yes.
But OPD is definitely something which will help us prioritize.
Absolutely.
Moving on, Shikha. At NEC India, through the We Think Equal campaign and our initiative and what we define as a cultural element for ourselves, we have also wanting to understand that while we emphasize equal opportunities for everyone, and it is not only restricted to just their career, but we look at a 360 view, we take a 360 view to this, and how can we ensure that there is inclusion and there is opportunity and there is growth, and all these elements together combine, bring forward the We Think Equal for us. How do you think, what role do you think that organizations can play in promoting better access to wellness resources, and what are some small steps that we as individuals and as team members and employees and as an organization can do in this regard to achieve this?
Well, there are a lot of things. Firstly, you have already started with an initiative, and as you said, it's the phrase itself says it's equal. And when we say equal, it's like equal opportunities everywhere, be it your work, be it your emotions, be it your relationship with your fellow members, with your colleagues, be it equality everywhere. So to start with, there are some of the ideas, like you make the employee of the month on base of their performance, right? So you can do just fittest employee of the month, and you can make their employees, the colleagues, they can make a group where they can just have an app where they can share each other's step counts. All right. So when they bring the food, they're always on the Snapchat, I'm very sure, the Gen Z. So they can share each other, instead of just sharing each other expressions, they can share their food pictures, the food coma, and they can come up with some interesting hashtag. They can share each other food pictures, and I think you should just discourage anyone coming ordering, so they should get food from their home. There's nothing all healthy when you're ordering. There is no healthy salad bowl, there is no healthy stuff when you're calling from outside, because they just want to make the food tasty. So there's nothing called health for them. So no, these are the small things, and making the hours flexible for your employees, so that actually they can have the me time, they can work on themselves and be that Lord Arjun, like the way in Mahabharata, Lord Krishna, he always guided Arjun to be the best, to take care of this health, to take care of everyone, to stand out. The way you should be the Lord Krishna and give all the amenities where they can strive this way. So I think with these small changes, they can be very fit, they can bring a good balance between their work and their, of course, well-being.
Nice. So we do have a flexible work environment, and we are very happy to say that we work in a very hybrid, productive manner. So
Okay.
that does give us that opportunity.
Wow.
And I think takeaways from what you said, immediate. So food emojis are something which we should look forward to
Yes.
coming up on the WhatsApp groups, etc.
Yes.
And
so like in my organization, what I have done with all my people, with my team, every week I throw a challenge for them. The highest number of steps this week who is doing. Then this week the leave sugar challenge. this week the maximum, number of water, like hydration level, the maximum number of hours you are sleeping. So every week we are just throwing a challenge.
Wow.
And so it's a hustle, but it's okay. We always meet this hustle every day. So in this way, they are very motivated, and they are like, what comes next? And on that basis, I always give as employee of the month. It's not basis of the performance. On the basis of the performance of the health, I determine the employee of the month. So this is, I think, these are the few things which all the organization can bring up, and these are very simple, not time taking.
Yeah, so if you change hustle for muscle to
Hustle for muscle,
hustle for
yes.
health now.
Correct. Yes.
Great. Moving on to the next one, Shikha. We often hear from professionals, and I think it's a very widespread notion and a question that we are all struggling with today, is finding the balance between their career and their health. So can you share any situations where you have seen people compromise their well-being because of their job responsibilities, where they've ignored health, they're not paying it the due attention? And what advice would you give to someone who is struggling in this dilemma and does not know what to do? So there is an intention to be healthy, but my work takes over, and what do I do then?
Oh, don't ask me. It's every day. Every day I just come, and every day people come to me, even my clients, they are always like compromising their health over there, chasing their success and, their work and everything. I always ask them, if you get a deal, you will wake up at 5 p.m. But if I'll tell you, you go and join your gym, you will never wake up at 5 a.m. So you must have heard of this, term, you are what you eat, yes. Right? It's not a general code by anyone. It's mentioned in our Patanjali, it's the Upanishads, it's mentioned in our Bhagavad Gita. So actually, how you eat and what you eat, it tells about your personality. Not even turns about what you are as a character, but also what's your approach towards your profession, towards your family life, towards your well-being. So I am a big fan of Gita, so because it really relates to our life. So there's a saying when you said about the balance thing, I'll just come up with one thing. So it is said that a person who brings a balance between a diet and the movement, between the actions, between the sleep, that person is the destroyer of pain and unhappiness. So when it is said in Gita, it is, and now the scientists are coming with the backup with all the modern researches, whatever is said. So it is all about the balance between everything. And there's one more shlok which says that person who don't wake too much or don't sleep too much, a person who don't overeat, a person who eat very less, that person is like, in a way of sadhana, is that person's focus, that learning sense is amazing. So a balance is the key to everything. So be it a relationship with your food, your family, your partner, your work, or anything. So as I said, very simple things. You just have to give 15 minutes to yourself a night before. Don't give that thing to your phone. 15 minutes when you wake up. Again, don't waste your time on your phone. So that 15 minutes a day before and 15 minutes when you wake up, don't invest on your phone, invest on yourself. So you have to just pre-plan that morning I have to get up, keep all the things on the table. And the morning when you get up, sit with yourself, your inner self, and just embrace all those things, the way you start. Have a glass of water. I have made a set of morning rituals, which I'll be sharing with you all. So just sit, give that thing to your time. It is very much doable. These things are very simple. As I said, it's all about prioritizing everything. So this is very simple way which we can inculcate and bring balance to between our work and our life.
So listen to your body.
Very much.
Have a routine.
Connect with nature and not Wi-Fi.
And not Wi-Fi. Connect with nature and not Wi-Fi. That's the tough one.
Yes.
But
you
I
know
think
what? Mark my words, very soon a thing will come when people will struggle sleep just because they are keeping their phone, beside them. And people who keep phone away from them, or they just disconnect the Wi-Fi, they get a very good sleep. They get into the deep sleep. Because see, at night you don't need Wi-Fi anyways, so
Yeah.
you just disconnect your Wi-Fi, and that night you sleep. You will see the difference between between the sleep when you keep your phone with you and when you keep your phone away and disconnect the Wi-Fi.
Correct. So,
You actually connect with your body's circadian rhythm.
so phone is good for connectivity, but to connect with yourself, you should
Yes,
put it away
yes.
and just spend some time with yourself.
Yes,
I think it's
correct.
a great way to start a day, and also organize yourself and link it to what you said about the OPD.
Yes.
Okay, so I think some of us will start embracing some of these things, and I'm sure we'll see positive changes coming
Absolutely.
through.
Absolutely.
So Shikha, in your, during your entire journey so far, you must be knowing of many people who are busy professionals who feel that they don't have the time for wellness. That is, it is always secondary. I don't have the time, I'm very busy. So if they adopt some of these things like spending time with themselves, I'm sure they will begin to see the value, and they will be then bring in more discipline and more organizing, and I think that's what will be the motivation to move forward, right?
Yes,
Am I
correct.
hearing you right there?
Yes,
Great.
very much.
So there's so much talk about work-life balance, which is the next big, I think it's one of the most trending topics nowadays with
Yes.
health, well-being and work-life balance. They fall in that same
Correct.
line. But do you think it's more about balance or is it about integration? Are these two separate things, or do we integrate work and life to bring out the best harmony between the two, the best balance, the most beneficial equation between work and life to ensure that we are able to prioritize both work, both personal space, personal development, family, business responsibilities, everything. So what is it? Is it balance or is it integration?
So I believe it's both.
Okay.
Because see, whatever things we do for ourselves, it should be a part of your lifestyle. It's not a separate entity that okay, today you are doing, it's a kind of packaged kind of thing and you are done and you got the results and it's over. So it's a part of the lifestyle. So both the balance and the integration, both should go hand in hand together. So whatever is like work or taking care of your health, it can't go separate. It should go parallel with each other. So balancing and integration is like both are very equally important.
So I know from a little glimpse that I have got into your life, you flew in last night. You have a small kid, I believe.
Yes.
You've been into back-to-back since morning. How do you manage it? What is your work-life balance?
Okay, as I said, OPD.
Okay.
Yeah. So because I knew I had to travel, so even if I have to go to some place and even if I know the time span is 15 minutes, I'll always have the small dabba with me which carries some form of food.
Okay.
And my water, which I never forget. I don't take a chance, okay, I'll reach there, maybe I reach on time, I have already eaten, maybe the car is stuck, maybe I get late. I don't, give a chance. I'll always have the little snack. And I know this is my schedule, I already got a plan from you. So just as I said, 15 minutes I just disconnect from the Wi-Fi. So that 15 minutes I gave it to myself. I had my dabbas in my bag, I had my water. So it was all planned because I believe if you are working and if you are fit enough, at the end of the day, you should be standing on your feet with a smile on your face, no cribbing, and you should look as fresh as if you get an opportunity. Okay, you have a chance, you have an opportunity, you get a deal, go take a flight. If you take care of your health, you should be able to take a flight then and there, without any effort. So I think that's the level when you work on yourself, on your well-being, that you get an opportunity and you can work 24 hours and 24 hours will be too much, but yeah, I can work. I think we all can work, but you can really, it actually reflects on your work also. If you always take care of yourself, you are fresh, you are energetic and you feel great. So that's the call for it.
So 3 things: power pack dabba with
Yeah.
health, with healthy nutrients,
Always.
a bottle of good clean water to hydrate, and a smile on your face. I think that is all that it takes.
Always.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Tell me something, when we talk about fitness,
Yeah.
the first thing that comes to people's mind is gym and running. how would you define fitness, and what are some of the other things that people can emulate and adopt in their lives, which is not restricted to just gym or running? So there is more to fitness. So how would you define it, and what are some of the other things?
So I often get this question that which is good, gymming or running or swimming? I always say whatever is done is good. So whatever you do to be fit is good. So in this kind of setup where your job is very challenging and you're not able to go to the gym, so what I always advise to my clients, walk while talk. Yeah, talk while walk, whatever you can say. So always be in a habit, when you have a phone, don't sit and talk. You just walk and you talk. So that's, for me, that's also part of the fitness, because that, again, as you said, integration. So that these things you have to inculcate in your lifestyle. It's okay that you have flights in the morning and at night you're not able to hit the gym, but just by taking care that, okay, you're always on the move, you're using your legs, you're not sitting often. So for me, that's also fitness, and that we all can do just by being a bit conscious. Okay, we have to move, we just can't sit, we just can't let the food sit every time in our stomach, in our colon, and make our belly bigger. So we just need to move. You'll always notice the more you sit, the more your distance is your navel is from your spine, and that's, the belly is big. And the more you stand, okay, your navel, the distance between your navel and your spine reduces. So it's up to you. If you want to increase the distance, you sit, and if you want to reduce the distance, you just stand and you just walk often. I think most of the companies, they have this standing chairs and tables. I think that should really introduced, that all the people who are working, they should have the opportunity, they could get the chance also where they just don't sit the entire day. They can stand also and work, and in between, when they have their meals, they just walk around. And when they have water, they don't keep it with themselves. They just go there and fill the water and they come back. So these are the things to be fit, we can do. And for me, fitness is actually everything.
So 10,000 steps, myth or fact?
It's a saying, it's a myth. I mean, what to say, it's a myth or fact. It's a thing ki, chalo ek to pakra diya usko, koi kaam. Now you have at least 10,000 you have to achieve. It's like, you tell a kid, okay, if you do this, you'll get that. It's just, we give the client, okay, we give you a target, now you have to achieve that. So it's just like that. 10,000 is around, good kilometers where you walk good. And
7-8.
It works. When you have some accountability, it works. So when I tell someone, okay, you have to do 10,000, it works for people. So even they have walked for 7,000, the 3,000 they will do before sleeping. So those things really work a lot.
So that's your discipline from your OPD that
from my
comes
OPD.
in. Great. Okay. So a lot of people have been, inculcating a lot and adopting a lot of these challenges, these lifestyle changes, I think post-COVID, where fitness has just come, and it's like just, a very prominent thing that everybody likes to focus on. And some of the things that you've said are very, very true in terms of sleep, in terms of water, in terms of, giving yourself some time, putting off the Wi-Fi, spending some time with yourself. So all good, and I think we will all try. I think it all starts with a small step of a commitment to yourself to try and build in that discipline and focus on the OPD. Now, we are going to get to the fun part of the episode, which you don't know about. So this is a surprise.
Do I get the hamper?
We'll see. Let's see. So these are the quick bites with Shikha. So Shikha, I'll ask you a question, rapid fire. First word that comes to your mind when you hear the question.
Okay.
Honest, candid, brutal, 100%.
And witty.
Totally. Okay. So one healthy snack that's always in your bag.
Nuts.
Okay. How your go-to breakfast on a busy day?
Bread.
Which bread?
Any bread which is there in the fridge. I don't have option that day.
Okay. A wellness trend you secretly enjoy?
Spas.
Okay.
Or retreats. You can say these retreats which have come up. Nowadays holiday retreat. I really enjoy. That's a break for me.
Oh, lovely. I think that is an easy one to adopt.
Yeah.
Okay. One food myth you'd love to bust?
Rice makes you fat, or fat makes you fat.
It doesn't?
It doesn't.
Lovely. We can all go back to having rice
Yes.
then. Comfort food after a long work day.
Simple homemade ghar ka food.
Favorite.
Favorite. Dal, chawal, sabji.
Yeah, so I think I was reading somewhere khichdi is supposed to be the most comfort food loved the most by most people across India. At
Yes.
least.
So the one is why supposed is when the dietitian imposed that, supposed. But when you love that, it is not to be supposed. You just love that.
Yeah. So if you weren't a nutritionist, what would you be?
Fitness coach.
Okay, so that would be a gym
Fitness,
trainer?
yes,
Or? Okay.
yes.
All right. So how often do you go to the gym?
7 days?
All 7?
Yes.
Awesome.
I believe if you give a break to your fitness, you should give a break to your food also.
Okay.
We eat every day. We need to burn out every day. And there's nothing called rest day or something like that. We don't give a rest to our stomach. So why do our muscles need rest? So it's completely fine that we work out 7 days in a week.
Nice. One thing you do daily for your mental health?
Switching off my Wi-Fi before I sleep and getting up and not checking my phone at all for first 15 minutes. And I have set a very, and I'm very known in my city for the morning rituals.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, this I would like to share with you all also. So once I get up, there's a rules where I follow 3 R's, which is rehydrate, replenish and rejuvenate.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a set of routine where there are certain seeds I've made, which is called AJSDM. That is ajwain, jeera, sauf, dhania and methi.
Okay,
Which
remember
is soaked
that.
overnight, yeah, in water. So these 5 combination is meant for a purpose. It is to aid your digestion, to increase the food metabolism, for a better function of your thyroid glands. These 5 food combination. Then there is immunity booster in the form of haldi, ginger and black peppercorn. So these 3 are the soldiers, together, who are always ready to fight any infections. This is what I say to my clients. So this boosts your immunity. Then third would be the most important thing is in our thing, for women especially, is omega-3. Okay, not only women, I think it's with everyone. So in our diet, our diet is full of omega-6. It doesn't have any omega-3. And that is a problem, nowadays a lot of cancer and a lot of autoimmune conditions are happening because the ratio between omega-3 and omega-6, the difference is very, very high. It should be equal. So I include certain food like walnut, flaxseed powder, chia seed, which increase the omega-3 content of the food. And I believe anything which comes from plant source or nature, it is recognized by a body. Anything which is made in lab and by the scientists, these are just experiments. So I do believe that getting all the nutrients from the food, I try to inculcate more and more. So and the next will be a combination of flaxseed and hemp seed to ensure that you have enough fiber and protein at the beginning of the day. So the entire thing when you are having is like you have protein, you have fiber, you have omega-3, you have food which increase the thermogenesis of the food. So all these food combination ensure, and of course the healthy thing for the immunity. And one more thing, amla, which is the the king of antioxidants.
Totally.
So and we have one more I forgot, which is halim seed. It's very rich in iron and folic acid. So all these combination ensure that you are rehydrated, you are replenished, you are rejuvenated to kickstart your day, and of course make your day more fruitful and more energetic. So that's a ritual which I follow every day.
Excellent. I'm sure people are taking notes and there's going to be a lot of grocery shopping over the weekend. Okay. So tea, coffee or neither?
Coffee.
Black, milk, sugar?
Black.
Okay. All right. Morning workout or evening wind
Morning
down?
workout.
So you're an early bird.
Yes.
Okay. One wellness tip you give others but sometimes forget to follow yourself. Honest one.
Oil pulling.
Okay.
So
Do you do that regularly or?
So this is something which when I read about and when I started, doing myself, I saw a great difference. And sometimes, again, when I'm in a hustle, I carry everything, but that's difficult to
Yeah.
carry. And also, there are some time when I'm in a rush, because it's a process of 2-3 minutes. Although we can do, while doing a lot of taking out our clothes and prepping for something, we can just squishing inside our mouth. But there are times I do forget. But I tell everyone that you have to do it daily. You have to do it daily. So, but I myself forget it sometimes. So yes, I do.
Great. So thanks a lot, Shikha. That was a lot of fun. We loved listening to all your nuances that you follow in your life around health and discipline. We will all adopt and try to make the right start for a healthy life going forward. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
Shikha, thank you so much for joining us today. Your insights on balancing career growth and health are very valuable to us. And I'm sure our viewers will take away a bit of this conversation, and we will start right away. At NEC India, our We Think Equal initiative stands as a commitment to ensuring everyone, no matter their role, gender or background, has access to equal opportunities and well-being. Today's discussion reinforced how crucial it is to take care of ourselves, both mentally and physically, so we can thrive in every aspect of our lives. So, take a note and get fit. To our listeners, remember, wellness isn't an extra, it's a foundation to your success. Take those small steps and you'll see the difference. So, lace up and show up and stay fit. This is Kashish Daya Kapoor signing off from the We Think Equal podcast. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, stay healthy, stay fit, and keep thinking and how to have a balanced life and be inclusive and think equal.